All right, we're on the campus of Milton High School, and tonight it's Milton versus St. Francis. I'm Mari Bland alongside Daryl LeBerry, Brandon Johnson on the call, and we've dealt with a lot for these last couple months and weeks with COVID-19, but it's safe to say that high school basketball is back.
Yes, it is, man. I'm excited. We got two of the best teams in the state right here between St. Francis and Milton, two teams that don't typically get to play against each other, but have some high-level guys. Got a pretty decent crowd in here. I didn't know how it would be, and I'm really looking forward to it.
So it's definitely a socially distanced basketball game tonight. We have a great crowd, as you stated. There's a 20-second countdown clock, and we're getting down to the wire closely to tip-off. St. Francis and Milton High School tonight. Coach LeBerry, what are we looking for tonight? These are really good basketball teams that we have tonight. What to look for tonight?
It's early in the season, so I expect both teams to be a little nervous and a little rusty early in the game. But Milton has Bruce Thornton, who's one of the top players in the country. His top five with Indiana, Purdue, Georgia. I can't remember the other two, but two other high-level schools. Kanan Carlisle is one of the top juniors in the country. We got Brock Bidwell, who's already committed to Campbell University. On the other side, Jason Holt is committed to Alabama. Keith Robbins is a good player. Seth Hubbard is a good player. So we have some high-level guys out here for a preseason scrimmage. This is probably as good as you'll get in the Southeast.
In 2019, St. Francis finished 29-3 record, and they have been going strong under Coach Drew Catlett in his sixth season, and we're expecting great basketball from them as well. We just saw the Milton ladies and the St. Francis ladies. It was a kind of a blowout game, but nevertheless, it was a great game. Those girls played very hard, and right now you're witnessing us do the starting lineup for Milton. Milton will be on our right, and Milton will be on our right. St. Francis will be on our left. And Milton will wear the white jerseys, red letters, red numbers, and the black stripe going down the side. St. Francis in all navy blue with the gray numbers. And again, we're expecting a great showdown. We have a guy that is committed to Alabama, that is Jason Holt. So we're expecting to see great things from him tonight. Our first quarter will have 8 minutes on it.
First thing I noticed was it looks like apparently St. Francis didn't do something correct in the starting lineup, and Drew Catlett jumped all over those guys. But as you can see, it's early season. Guys are trying to figure it out. Guess we got to be quiet. We got the national anthem coming up.
Cameron Walker will set up shot for the offense of Milton. And he come out and with the layup, and he lays it in there, easy, and it's 2-3. San Francis.
Interesting start for Milton. Like I told you, their two guys are Bruce Thornton and Kanan Carlisle. They'll do the most of the work on offense. But so far, they're trying to kind of ease into the game and let the flow happen. It'll be interesting to see because as the game picks up, those two guys will take a lot of shots and be very aggressive.
Brown there for St. Francis with the 2 there. Milton would try to respond, and it's no good. It's rebound.
They have a wrong number for number 22. We
That's right.
got to check that at the half. They're trying to trip us up early, make sure we know where we're going. I'm assuming that's got to be Kai Simmons, though. He's the only 6'7" guy on their roster.
Well, Coach LeBerry, you've got a lot of coaching experience. I know we'll be just fine with you.
We'll figure it out. It's early in the season for everybody.
23, Brown, outside the arc. On the right wing, number 12.
That's Hubbard. I'm telling you, he's going to get his shots up.
Takes that shot again. Rebound with the attempt, Herbert. And Brock Bidwell will bring it out.
Brock Bidwell is a guy who transferred over from South Forsyth. Played really well in the summer. Also had a great fall league. The SUB TV covered, did a terrific job. Kind of get some kids some exposure. He was able to get an offer from Campbell and jumped on it. I think that's a good level for him. High-level shooter. Guy's got to become a little bit more of a point guard, but he's a high-level shooter right now who can really catch and shoot or shoot the ball off the perimeter, off the dribble as well.
Kendall Campbell with the foul. And number 23, Campbell, I'm sorry, I had the name wrong. We'll bring it out. On the left wing, he has the ball, works that paint, pulls up with an attempt, 22, saves the day, and he loses it.
The thing that the St. Francis coach, I spoke to him a little bit before the game. Good shot by Brock Bidwell.
Milton.
You'll find out he just knows how to score the ball. St. Francis is really worried about size in the interior. They know they have really good guard play with Seth Hubbard, Jason Holt, and Jordan Brown, but they didn't know if they'd be able to rebound the ball against bigger, more athletic teams. Good 3 by Jason Holt right there, Alabama commit. He will sign tomorrow his national letter of intent.
And that's Holt there with the 3. Number 23, Campbell finish it off for 2, and it's 8-6, St. Francis.
Guys are scoring the ball at a high clip early in the season. Normally you don't see that. Usually it's a little bit the defense is ahead of the offense, but so far guys have been making shots.
24, Robbins. That's Keith Robbins, the 6'4" junior, will go to the line.
Keith Robbins is another guy who had a really good summer. Doesn't really look like a great athlete, but he'll surprise you. And I've seen him dunk on some guys. Doesn't shoot the ball from the perimeter consistently. That's probably one of the weaknesses of his game, but he can really get to the basket, gets out in the passing lanes, and is a good athlete, a guy who can make plays in transition. So Keith Robbins is a guy who I'm expecting a lot of tonight.
And Toby Gaines checks in for St. Francis, and he's good 1 for 1 there at the free throw line. Number 2, Bruce. Holt for 3. You said it, Coach LeBerry. He's definitely taking shots. He's aggressive.
I mean, he's the guy who was going to a high major, so you're going to take those shots. But I know one thing: if they don't find Brock Bidwell, he's going to make shots all night.
Brock Bidwell there, the 5-foot guard, senior. This is his last year. At the points.
Nice charge there.
And that's number 13. That's Gaines.
Great play by Bidwell, stepping in and drawing the charge early in the season. You very rarely see that this early. Probably something they emphasize in the summer and the early preseason. I know Coach Whitehart will be happy about that.
Thornton.
Yeah, you can see both teams are really anxious right now, just coming down with one pass and up for the shot, but they'll settle in eventually.
It's early in the season. You got to kind of expect that.
23.
Big-time athletic play.
That's Kendall Campbell with the dunk. It's Eagles 11, St. Francis 9, 3 minutes and 31 seconds to go here in the first quarter. And that's a foul.
And they got Kendall listed at 6'7", but I'm not sure if he's that tall, but
I don't know.
He sure did look at when he caught and took off in the paint.
He definitely doesn't look like that, Coach.
I'm thinking more 6'5"-ish.
Number 4. Holt brings it in. Brown sets up the offense. To number 12. He drives it in. And that's Hubbard.
Great help side defense on that left side by Milton, stopping that penetration.
Probably didn't need the foul right there. I mean, they had him walled up. Just keep your hands high, make a shot.
Hubbard here with the free throw shot. A 15-footer. And he is good there.
Hubbard is a guy who really plays with a chip on his shoulder, man. You ever play with a guy who just always feels like he's disrespected? Every time he makes a shot, he looks at everybody in the gym like everybody's been talking junk to him. That's the kind of chip that Seth Hubbard plays with. And you can tell he always feels like he has something to prove every time he gets on the court.
And Jalen Lee checks in for the St. Francis Ball Club there.
You need that from all your players, though.
I mean, I think it's a good thing, to be honest. Now, as long as you harness it and use it for good, it can be a really good thing.
I agree with the coach.
Across the center court.
Kind of surprised that Bruce is being so passive right now, and he's kind of trying to let his team get into the flow.
Our man, Brock Bidwell, tries it again. No good. Rebound.
We're gonna just call him Kai Simmons until we know for sure. But he's only got a couple guys who are listed at 6'6" and 6'7". I'm pretty sure this is Kai Simmons, who is number 22.
We're having to endure through a number mix-up there on the roster for St. Francis. Number 5, Walker. Passes it to Thornton. Thornton, no good. And Lee will work the court.
Good anticipation by Kanan Carlisle, something that he's really got better at. He was known as more of a shooter. Now he's learned to put the ball on the floor. He's become a better defender. He's becoming an all-around player.
I'll tell you this, Coach LeBerry and Coach Johnson, for it to be their first game this season, these guys are moving pretty good.
Oh, no question. I mean, I think they're chomping at the bit, man. I mean, the season ended short last year. Guys didn't, some people played a lot this summer. Some guys didn't play a lot this summer. So I think guys are just excited to be playing in front of crowds. So you can see the energy and enthusiasm and feel it in the building for sure.
Oh, it's most definitely there.
Thornton works outside the arc. And that's Carly. Number 15 will inbound the ball. It's 11, tied up here in the first quarter. 2 minutes.
One thing I have noticed is there's a little bit of confusion on all baseline out of bounds, sideline out of bounds. You can tell that's something that, and Coach Johnson knows this, you can only work on so many things in the preseason. St. Francis said they've only had 10 practices. So baseline out of bounds, sideline out of bounds is one of the things that gets kind of lost in the shuffle. You want to get your offensive flow. You want to get whatever your defensive philosophy in. And then, your special team stuff kind of comes usually a little bit later. 10 practices isn't a lot of practices at all.
Yeah, well, we both know that from experience. That's going to be on down the line before they get
No
that.
question. No question.
Jalen Lee back at the line.
Like I said, that right now they're just anxious. They got a lot of energy, as you said, Coach.
They
just need to see. We just need to see them settle down, get some ball movement, man movement, get the ball from one side to the other side, and let it flow.
Jordan,
and
outside the arc.
I know we're doing some shot clock stuff in some tournaments. I don't think they have a shot clock out here tonight. It won't be during the regular season, but at some special events, Georgia is slowly introducing the shot clock. And I think in 3 years it'll be phased into every high school game, which I think is a great thing for the state of Georgia.
It's a great thing for basketball, in particular high school basketball, because it prepares the guys for the next level.
I agree.
It's Coach LeBerry and Coach Johnson with robust of coaching college experience tonight. And that's 0 for Milton.
Nice little pull-up jump shot.
Robinson with 2. Oh, Seth Fisher, I'm sorry, stand correct.
Looks like both teams are running some kind of, just a basic motion offense, just trying to get guys reading and reacting and moving around a little bit. Probably just want to see the guys play. Great defense again by Kanan Carlisle, causing a 5-second count, which is something that you don't see a lot in high school basketball. You got to take pride in your defense to contain an offensive ball handler for 5 seconds.
Excellent defense. Excellent defense. Had my man going east and west, not north and south. So.
Exactly.
Carlisle.
And then you also got to know sometimes you got to get off the ball if you're if the defense is doing a good job. Deshaun Holt's doing a really good job on Bruce Thornton. Good pass.
Finley for 2.
Had a great dribble handoff.
It's a good set play. Those guys ran an execution there, and they followed it all the way through.
No question.
Inside the 1 minute mark of the first quarter, it's 13-15.
There hasn't been a whole lot of stoppage at all, has there?
Not really.
Referees letting these guys play, which is good.
So far, Milton.
Bruce Thornton's not going to give up on that play. I can tell you that right now.
That's a jump ball.
He's not giving up on that. That's a great play.
He called it, Coach, from behind.
Great play. And he went and snatched it with 2 hands. You very rarely see that.
He came from 2 steps behind to cause a jump ball when that was an easy layup.
That's a big-time play there.
Yes, indeed.
30 seconds in the first quarter. It's St. Francis and Milton.
I got to get used to these benches, man, with the socially distanced benches. I mean, I get it kind of, but at the same time, they're playing, they're talking to each other, they're sitting in the locker room together. I get it in the stands for the crowd, but sometimes I don't quite understand for the
good. Oh, those guys.
Number 4.
Another pick and roll.
That's
Number 4's done a
Fisher.
great job.
Finley.
And diving to the basket.
That was just dribble weave, and then to a ball screen, pick and roll. Good execution.
Man, that's the second charge that Milton has drawn, and a huge jump ball by Bruce Thornton. So everybody talks a lot about the scoring prowess of the Milton players, but they try to win games on the defensive end.
I'm seeing that, Coach.
And inside there, number 11. There. Young will take it. And it's 17-13. Milton Eagles. And that ends our first quarter. Here. Catch Imani Bates and Yipsy Prep Live on SUV TV this season, starting November the 20th. SUV TV, the flagship streaming partner for Yipsy Prep. Visit thesuvtv.com. It's 17-13, and it's your Milton Eagles as we go into the second period. Tonight, we've seen some really good basketball. Maury Blount alongside Coach LeBerry and Coach Johnson. What are we going to expect in the second quarter?
Well, just looking at some of these stats that were just passed to me, man, Milton has done a great job on the defensive end. They already got 3 steals in the first quarter. They got a block shot. They got 2 charges. They also have 6 assists I'm pretty sure that's an assist on every one of their baskets. The rebounding is about even. But Milton has done kind of all the little things to put themselves in a position to be ahead in this game. And that's kind of the culture and the way the style of play that they have, and that's led by Bruce Thornton, who's, even though he's a really good player who can score, what he's best at is defending and making winning plays. And we've seen a little bit of that early. That's
Coach LeBerry with the stats there from the first quarter.
Yes, indeed. This is my first time seeing the young man Bruce Thornton play, and he's, as you said, Coach, he's played on both ends. I mean, he's filled in the gaps on defense, got some deflections. He's made the right decisions with the pass, and he's just taking his time. He's not trying to force anything.
Gaines will inbound to Brown. Brown will bring it down the court, pass it to the right wing.
One thing you can tell is Milton has done a terrific job coaching defense. I mean, they're closing those gaps up. They're talking. They're communicating. They're down inside ball screens, and they allow you to come off. I mean, they're getting after it on the defensive end, man.
Brown with the loss.
Turnover right there from closing of the gap. And it's not just one player doing it, it's the whole team. You got help side, then you got help the helper, so they're rotating really good.
The beautiful thing was that how excited the bench got when they did that. That's how you know it's part of their culture, and it's something that they talk about and stress every single day.
Especially interesting that they've done that and, hadn't spent a lot of time together because of COVID, right, Coach?
Exactly. Yeah, it's been a very unique season, and they've been limited in the number of practices that they can have. They were able to play in a fall league, but the coaching staff wasn't able to coach them, so they're just now really kind of getting into their groove. But the good thing for Milton is a lot of these guys play on the same AAU team, so they have a level of comfort with each other.
In and out of the hands of Seth Fitzgerald there.
Well, you see there, St. Francis went into a zone right there, so it sort of threw Milton off guard. And then turnover was caused, but we'll see what happens on the next time down.
Well, we talked about it earlier. Another thing that gets lost is zone offense. A lot of people don't work on zone offense early in the season. You're trying to get your man-to-man stuff together. So if you play zone early and you're good at a zone, you can really stall some teams and confuse them.
That's number 24. Robbins with the downtown attempt.
And that's the thing we talked about earlier. He's got to be able to consistently make a jump shot. Almost another good look there.
Passes it.
Brock Bidwell can shoot it, man. They must not know the scouting report. You can't let him get that off.
That's Brock Bidwell again, Coach LeBerry. You talked about him earlier here.
He's already made 2 threes early.
He's showing up and showing out tonight.
And I was trying to get those other 2 teams early, so let me give you Bruce Thornton's list while we have a quick minute. Indiana, Purdue, Georgia, Ohio State, and Alabama. That's his top 5.
Number 4, Holt. Gets a chance to make a three-point play, and he'll go to the line.
Speaking of Alabama, that's the Alabama commit right there, Jason Holt, who, again, a guy, if you saw him last year, you saw him as a wiry, long wing who could make some jump shots, but you weren't quite sure. This summer, he's kind of put it all together. He's put some muscle on. He's putting the ball on the floor much better. He was able to play kind of like a combo point guard this summer for his AAU team. So now he can really create plays off the dribble, and that was him getting to the basket and finishing through contact, which is something that he wasn't able to do last year.
So, Coach Holt, Mr. Holt there, what does he bring Alabama? What does he bring their program?
Anytime you got a wing that has size and can put the ball on the floor and can make jump shots, you got yourself a really good player. Now, obviously, it's going to be an adjustment going to the SEC level for him coming from St. Francis, but I think he has a lot of good tools. He has a high IQ. You see him jump in the pass lanes right there and get a defensive steal. And those are the plays that he have to make at the next level. He'll have to get to the basket and take that contact and finish.
Yeah, Coach, he didn't even jump. He just got length. That length is it plays a factor.
Can't teach length.
Not at all.
But I'm telling you, this kid here has been one of my surprises this summer. Brock Bidwell. I mean, look at him. If you look at him, he's a small kid. Not very athletic. He doesn't have a whole, he's not even a stocky, strong-looking kid. You think he's just going to be okay. But I'm telling you, every single time I see him play, he makes 4 or 5 threes. He gets to the rim. He makes floaters. He's tough. He rebounds. I mean, I think Kimball got himself a really good player.
Thornton.
Say they got a steal, huh?
Sets it up outside the arc. Works his way to the paint. And it bounces out and in.
Bruce Thornton and Kanan Carlisle haven't even gotten going, and they're up 4. I think if you're Coach Whitehart, you're feeling pretty good about this.
Holt with the three-point attempt. That's Thornton, and it's good with the layup.
Finally gets into the books. He probably needed to see one go in, get a little bit comfortable. Now he's tired. He's calling for a break. That shows you early in the season there's no simulation for games and the adrenaline that you have playing in front of a crowd.
For St. Francis, number 13, Gaines will check in, and number 3, Jalen Lee.
What do you guys feel about the benches, the socially distanced benches? How do you guys feel about that, or you guys don't even pay attention to that?
I mean, when you look at the NBA is the prototype for everything that's going around. I think we'll see it at the collegiate level as well as what we're seeing right now.
The thing about college is, though, and even when this regular high school starts, well, I guess they don't have to bring those bleachers out because you can't get the full capacity. But if you get college arenas, some of those arenas, the way they're set up, there's not a lot of space behind the college bench and the actual seating area. So I'm not sure they'll be able to do this in a lot of college arenas.
If anything, they'll just have to spread it down to the baseline.
That's probably what they'll do, is spread out further out. Or maybe take some of those GAs and those managers and those guys who sit behind the bench, take those guys off the bench.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the bench will be limited. That was good execution there. You're seeing both teams sort of settling down, getting into their half-court sets, ball movement, man movement, going from one side to the other. Both teams are doing a little bit of a dribble weave with ball screen action.
Probably one of the simpler things to run early in the year.
Indeed.
Brock Bidwell passes it to Campbell. And there's a travel call. Go back to St. Francis. Brock Bidwell for sure is a blue-collar kind of guy.
No question. And that was good defense by, we're pretty sure it's Kai Simmons, who also just had the drop-off dunk. We'll check and make sure at the half, but he's played a pretty good half as well for a guy who a lot of people don't even talk about for St. Francis.
Brown at the right wing.
I mean, when you look at this defense at Milton, everybody's at the right place at the right time. They cut off the baseline. They slide all over. That was a defensive steal, all because of defensive rotation.
Brock Bidwell with the attempt of 3 from downtown, and it was no good.
you can tell Coach Whitehart is an old school coach. He's going to make you beat him from the perimeter and try to rebound the ball versus allowing the other team to play inside out.
Browns with the attempted three, put back by, I think that's the discrepancy we were having.
I'm pretty sure it's Kai Simmons.
Kai Simmons, we'll just call him Kai Simmons.
But right now, he's going to be Kai Simmons in this first half until we know for certain.
So far, it's St. Francis and Milton.
To be honest, St. Francis defense hasn't been very bad. I mean, I think they've done a pretty good job early, too. They're not quite as much in the gaps, but they've gotten some passing lanes, gotten tipped some balls. Jason Holt's gotten a couple steals. They're sitting down in the stands, when they're guarding. You can tell it's the emphasis in their program as well, which it is for most winning programs.
All right, they're active. They're active. That's one of the main things with defense. You just got to be active.
Brock Bidwell with the fake. Passes it to number 5, Walker. From downtown, no good.
I haven't seen him much, but that doesn't look like that's his game. He probably needs to get to the rim.
Holt will drive the rim.
Pass
it to the big man. And we'll call him Kai Simmons.
And again, that's a little thing that people might not notice, but Kanan Carlisle coming back and blocking that shot, even though it was a foul, and not giving up an easy dunk, that slows the momentum down. Now we can find out if Kai Simmons has to make free throws. Those are the kind of plays that win games.
Join a great lineup of NBA analysts Rashad Phillips, Daryl LeBerry, and more on SUV TV's NBA Draft Day show. On November 18th, 2020, visit thesuvtv.com for more information. Number 22, Kai Simmons, finishes up at the line.
We got it confirmed. That is Kai Simmons, and he already has 7 rebounds tonight.
Kai Simmons with 7 rebounds tonight, and he's number 22, which, Coach LeBerry, I guess that comes with experience. You automatically knew that. That was Kai Simmons.
I just used simple deduction and figured it out, but somebody went ahead and cleared it up for us to make sure.
Thank him for that.
That's that same ball reversal dribble handoff. This time, Kanan Carlisle attacked the rim, didn't finish.
That's Jalen Lee.
And he's come off the bench and been very aggressive trying to get to the rim.
Number 3 there, as like Coach said, he's definitely been aggressive off the bench. Number 5, Cameron Walker with the missed 3.
Milton was getting to the rim earlier and playing off their defense. Now they're starting to settle for jump shots a little bit.
Kai Simmons. Rebound by Gibbs. Gibbs working in the
Good 5.
Second
Good defense, yes.
Second one we've seen. And that's the issue with him. He's a good player. I've actually, watched him quite a bit. I think he comes off the bench and he tries to make things happen because he plays behind some really good guards, and he'll over-dribble and do some things. When he learns to just trust his teammate and get off the ball and allow the ball to come back to him and now attack, I think he'll be a better player then. But he's only a junior now, and some of these guys will be gone next year. He'll have a little bit more of an opportunity.
Right, that's Corey Gibbs right there, right, Coach?
Correct.
Yeah, he's a little bit too much dribbling. Coach just took him out of the game, but he'll learn his lesson.
Holt with the 3, and no good there. It's 25-25 tied
Good
up.
in and out move.
That's why I like him. I'm telling you, Kanan Carlisle, man.
Yes.
He started off slow here, but when I tell you in the fall league, he tore it up. I'm expecting him to play much better in the second half. He's lightning quick with the ball, and he can really shoot the ball from the perimeter.
Yeah, that was an excellent in and out move. He had a chance to finish with the left, use the basket as a shield, and did a reverse with the right.
Holt for 2.
And that's the maturation of Jason Holt. Now they're taking away the jump shot because everybody knows he can shoot the ball from the perimeter. So now he's able to put the ball on the floor. Great shot fake up and under into a nice little touch floater, which is a difficult shot in the paint.
And with COVID-19, guys, just to see the guys not have these guys aren't slumped down. You can tell they've kind of been working out in shape for sure.
No question. And like we said, they had the fall league. They haven't had a ton of practice as a team, but they played in the fall league. Some of these guys I know for certain played a lot of AAU this summer. That was kind of up to each individual family. So they've been playing, but they just haven't been playing, in their high school uniforms in front of crowds.
Inside the 1-minute mark for the second quarter. 27 tied up Milton and St. Francis.
Oh, great defense, great defense. You saw there Milton extended their defense a little bit earlier, and they again, both teams are doing a dribble weave, but it was just a great defense of getting over that screen and coming back off the roll and picking off that pass.
I haven't seen Cameron Walker play. Maybe he typically shoots the ball a little bit better from the perimeter, but he's taken 3 threes those last 3 shots, and one of them had a chance to go in. I would personally like to see him get to the basket a little bit more and, make the game easier, play inside out.
So basically, Coach, I think you suggested earlier that you really don't think that's his game.
I don't know for certain, but from watching just a little bit I've seen so far, it doesn't look to be his game. But he's taking those shots and they're passing the ball to him like that's what he does. So, I could be wrong. We'll see as the game goes on.
It's 27-27, 35 seconds in the second quarter. Milton and St. Francis here in the second quarter. Playing for a Change will feature some of Georgia's best teams playing for a cause bigger than the game. Join the hosts, Pace Academy, Grayson, Willer, Kell, Pebblebrook, Green Forest, South Cobb, and North Gwinnett for showcase games and tournament play on December 19th through the 22nd on SUVTV.com. SUVTV has
That should be a good event, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Brought a lot of these games to your living rooms.
Because it wasn't a live period this year, SUV-TV kind of filled that gap and was able to, be a platform for a lot of people to get exposure and college scholarships and just be seen and have an opportunity to play where people can see them play. So kudos out to Marcus and Lisa. They do a great job, getting to different events and also giving you quality streaming, which is important as well. And they do a terrific job. We want to thank them for everything they've done for the city of Atlanta, and they're got some Midwest ties as well.
Coach LeBerry would definitely say that we're grateful for the opportunity, but bringing not only quality, but giving you an up-and-close look of each player.
No question, no question.
And that's number 2. That's Thornton with the layup there, and it's.
And see, that's one thing that the shot clock will help, and also just being young, because why would you even take the shot with 8 seconds left on the clock? You probably wanted to take the last shot there, Brandon.
Yes. Good defense, though.
That's what he does, though. He's a winner, man.
Both ends.
Number 2, Thornton denies it initially, and it goes in with the second attempt. It's 29-27, St. Francis against Milton. And it's halftime. We'll take a halftime break as well. It's Darryl LeBerry, Coach Brandon Johnson, and myself, Maury Bland. Stay with us. This is SUV TV, bringing you quality broadcast.
With SUV TV at the CP3 Rising Stars campus.
SUV TV's 2019 NBA Draft Day coverage.
Anthony Edwards collegiate decision presented by the Georgia Hoop Circle on SUV TV.
SUV TV brings the game to the audience.
You give a better focus on the actual game at hand. Sometimes you could tell it's just a running camera by itself sitting there, but with SUV TV, it's more of a personal experience.
Just the exposure, being able to see games that you normally wouldn't be able to see, not only here locally, but across the country.
Those angles make you pick up different things as a coach, as an evaluator. They're giving you great quality. Nobody talking in the background. I think it brings basketball to the forefront.
Whether it's a family member that lives in a different state, they can watch the game, or just bringing in more coverage for these players, or if it just allows us to raise more money for something like Susan G. Komen. And so I think this event has grown because you guys have been a part of it the whole entire time.
SUV TV has given a different light to kids that don't always get the best exposure.
The commentary that goes along with the games, I think, is always interesting.
Touchdown.
Oh, yes, sir. It brings something to the table that no other streaming aspect can bring, no matter how hard they try right now.
Dayton Davian Williamson at the buzzer. That is how you get the Peachtree Corners Invitational started. And that will do it. Thanks for joining.
aggressive on the offensive end. Neither one of those guys got into a flow offensively, but they didn't have to. They were scoring the ball at will in the first quarter. Second quarter, they kind of slowed down. I'm interested to see them kind of impact the game. But Bruce Thornton was all over the place, and his impact can be felt without scoring. He had 4 rebounds, 4 assists. He had a steal, got his hands on a couple other balls, a couple deflections, and he had a block. I mean, Brock Bidwell was great. He drew 2 charges. He had an assist as well. He had a couple rebounds, and he made a couple threes, so he played really well. I'm expecting to see Kanan and Bruce step up, especially on the offensive end, and assert themselves.
And we're inside the 10-second time mark to start the second half of a great showdown. It's St. Francis and Milton. So far, things have been going back and forth between St. Francis and Milton. No one has taken off yet.
And then this is a little bit more natural in the second half. You know, the home team starts out with the ball, but for you guys who didn't start the game with us, Georgia high school basketball, the visiting team will always take the ball out of bounds to start the game. There is no jump ball anymore. And then obviously the opposite happens as we begin the second half. I'm not sure if it has to do with COVID. They don't want the guys doing jump ball, getting that close to each other, because in my opinion, as the game goes on, you're going to be trying to block shots, you're drawing charges, you're going to be close to physical contact anyway. Maybe that's just a rule that was going to come in place regardless, but a very interesting way to start the game with no jump ball in my opinion.
And Thornton will bring out to start the second half of this great matchup, Milton and St. Francis. St. Francis 29, Milton 27.
They tried to go to a little hit, dive to the corner, strong side, and high ball scheme with Brock Bidwell. He tried to hit the diving guy and ended up turning the ball over. Great defensive play by St. Francis to begin the second half.
And that's exactly what they needed to do. The rotation was great there.
Herbert throws it down to Simmons.
Good ball movement by St. Francis.
Browns with the attempted 3.
I thought he passed up the first one. He had a good one. He kind of waited and ended up shooting an air ball. Great block right there.
By Walker.
Look at Jason Holt with the athleticism. Kanan Carlisle tries to throw the lob. Oh, Brock Bidwell, you can't pass that up, Brock Bidwell.
Number 12, Hubbard would take it down.
Good defensive play by Hubbard. He's very active. At the same time, gets that steal.
I think that's a great foul by Cameron Walker. People go crazy in the gym when you see that now, but when we were growing up, you never gave up layups. Always was a hard foul in that situation. I just think that's good basketball.
Coach, are you dating yourself back?
I am, man. The game is evolving and changing, some for good, some for bad. I think that's a good play. You don't give up layups, make him earn it at the free throw line, and then also psychologically what it does is next time he drives to the basket, he'll remember that foul, and he'll be a little bit tentative going to the rim.
Herbert at the line for the second shot, and he's good for both. Carlisle will bring it out.
Both teams deciding to start out the second half in man-to-man. Be interested to see if we get to see any zone. Find out if anyone's worked on zone offense. But you know what? Maybe nobody's worked on zone defense as well.
Thornton, right wing.
Good pass.
Passes it to Walker. 23, the big man. Puts it up, and it's no good there. 31-27 so far, St. Francis.
Been a very good game. St. Francis and Milton are going to be teams that are going to be trying to win state championships in their respective divisions this year. So it's good to see them in an early matchup. So, you know, two teams that are good teams, good programs that you don't normally get to see play against each other.
The big man, number 2, that's Bruce Thornton, the 6'3" guard, junior. Will go there to the foul line.
He's really tired.
You can tell.
He expends a lot of energy the way he plays. It'll probably take him, you know, a couple weeks to kind of get into his conditioning, you know, and play at the rate and the pace that he wants to play at.
You definitely said he's been all over the court tonight.
He's been everywhere, man. He's one of those guys that he'll do whatever it takes to win. He's not your typical guy who is, you know, a big-name guy who has 5 high major offers, got it down to a top 5 of 3 Big Ten schools, ACC school, and an SEC school. You would think that guy is going to be a guy who's going to take a lot of shots and, you know, try to dominate the ball. He's a guy who's going to be diving on the floor, drawing charges, rebounding. We saw a great play where he chased the guy down and forced a jump ball early in the half. He's just about winning, and I think that's why those programs like him.
There's no doubt about it. There's a rich in talent here, talent pool for both of these two schools. St. Francis has a dynasty going. Since 2012, they're 209 for 44. 209 wins, folks, and 44 losses. That's pretty impressive since 2012, the 13th season.
Both of these programs have been really good for a period of time. And they're totally different classifications, but again, these are schools that are probably 15, 20 minutes apart from each other. And both coaches do a great job.
Deep pull-up by Jason Holt there.
He can do it. He can make shots with range.
If he can continue to do that at the next level, he's going to be pretty good with his length.
That's what he's known for.
Darryl LeBerry, Brandon Johnson, alongside myself, Maury Bland, with the call, SUV-TV. Number 2 from downtown, that's Bruce Thornton, and it's no good there.
Now the action and the pace is really picking up. This is kind of what we expected earlier.
Number 24, that's Robbins.
Great play by Seth Herbert.
Good
really
pass.
Pushing tempo. Drew the defense, dropped it off to Keith Robbins, who was able to finish through the contact.
Right. That was, Coach, that was one of the first times we saw both teams or either teams make a primary break.
No
finish.
question.
Yeah.
Robbins with the three-point play, and he's successful there. It's 39-30. St. Francis.
Wow. What a turnaround, man. It's been a game of runs. Milton started out great. First quarter kind of dominated the first quarter, to be honest, but St. Francis late in the second quarter and to start this half has kind of taken control of the game, getting better, easier shots, and a lot of shots at the rim.
You see what I'm just talking about? Both teams are doing the dribble weave.
Yeah, they are.
And he comes off this handoff, and that's a dribble pull-up.
Yep.
Right there. He's looking for the lob, but no one's in the paint. Boom, boom.
Sometimes you're being too unselfish. Take your shot, especially when you're one of the better players. That's a shot that you can make.
Right. It's just a rhythm shot right there.
I agree.
You get into that rhythm, you get into that flow, things continuously go.
Yep.
We've got coaches here on the sideline with us on the call that is very experienced in college coaching. And we've seen really good teams tonight between Milton and St. Francis, 39. St. Francis, Milton 30 there. And 5 minutes already, 18 seconds, guys. The first game of the season, really we're going to call it a scrimmage. What can you take from this scrimmage so far? You see in the first half and the start of the third quarter here, mid-third quarter, what are you taking away as a coach?
It's kind of what I expected. I mean, both teams are a little sloppy. Been turning the ball over, some unforced errors. But again, you're not trying. It doesn't matter if you win this game. It doesn't go, in the win-loss column. What you're trying to do is find out what groupings of guys play well together. Maybe some things that you saw in your head offensively that look really good don't work as well when you go against an opponent. Maybe some things defensively that you thought were bad or good, some things you thought were good or bad. So you're just kind of feeling your team out and then just allowing them to get to play in front of fans, which is a whole new – there's no simulation for that. So it's just good to get out here and play.
Jordan forces his way, tries to.
Well, that was a good matchup right there. Thornton coming in, using the body.
Got two high major guys matched up with each other.
Jason doesn't get the call on the block. But good defense, good offense for the most part.
And it's intercepted by number 23, Browns. Passes it to number 12, Herbert.
Milton contests every shot.
Yes, they do.
I mean, on defense, they've been – one of the things I can say is they've been excellent on defense for the most part this early in the season.
Aggressive.
Right. Not perfect. Nobody's perfect, but they have really been showing some great rotation, great hustle, great effort, and it's paying off.
If their two primary players were playing a little bit better offensively, then they'd be in a lot better shape right now. Those guys are the guys they depend on to score, but they've done the job defensively to keep the game really close, and they haven't even played well, to be honest. The only thing they've done is play pretty good defense, and St. Francis has taken some opportunities early in this half to kind of stretch the lead out a little bit. Herbert
finishes up at the line. Join a great lineup of NBA analysts Rashad Phillips, Darryl LeBerry, and more on SUV TV's NBA Draft Day show on November the 18th, 2020. Visit thesuvtv.com for more information. That's right. This is brought to you by SUV TV. Visit us at thesuvtv.com.
This young man, Hubbard, is very active. He's been at the line several times tonight. Yeah. His just assertiveness and to get to the basket is paying off for St. Francis.
They were going dribble weave, and Hubbard actually took him out of it. He denied Caden Carlisle coming off.
Out to number 2, Dorton. Carlisle brings it in.
And he's got to make that. See what I'm saying? He's a little off tonight.
Fitzgerald with the rebound from downtown. That's Cameron Walker, the junior.
I told you, Cameron doesn't care what I say. He's going to keep shooting his threes. He's been working on that all summer. He don't care what I think up here.
He's definitely taking shots from downtown. He's been aggressive tonight, Coach LeBerry. Number 4.
Wow.
That was
I haven't seen Holt do that a lot.
That's Holt.
Hey, that's an uncontested. You can't defend that whatsoever. Nice turnaround, floater back.
Kind of like a little bit of a dirt 1-footer a little bit, too.
Yes,
And, guys, that's why he's getting a chance to play Alabama basketball. Number 12, that's Herbert there. And it's good for 2, 45-33 with 4 minutes in the third quarter.
I know basketball is a team sport, but you got a couple guys that are usually your best guys, both teams. And Seth Hubbard and Jason Holt have been better than Kanan Carlisle and Bruce Thornton tonight, and that's the reason they're up 12.
Carlisle drives in the paint. And there's a foul there.
Coach, it's really just the activity. You just see them being more aggressive and assertive.
No question.
And that contributes to getting to the free throw line and just getting additional points.
I agree. And easier baskets as well.
Right.
Number 13, Gaines, and number 3, that's Jalen Lee, checks in for the St. Francis team. Ball club there. 45-33. Milton is down, and we have a little discrepancy. We're trying to get worked out here. Coach LeBerry, what is going on here?
Remember, we talked about it earlier. These guys, they're from the area. They don't get to play against each other. They don't like each other.
Going back and forth.
They don't like, and I'm telling you, Kanan Carlisle and Bruce Thornton are 2 of the toughest guards in the state. And I don't mean toughness as far as good players. They're like tough physical. Like we're more physical than y'all. We're a better defensive team than y'all. We don't care if y'all want to talk junk. We can talk junk too. So I knew that at some point this was going to happen. It's not surprising me at all.
So we got Coach Darryl LeBerry and Brandon Johnson, 2 great experienced Division I college coaches. You've got to be encouraged by the aggressive and the flying around these guys. I mean, they look hungry.
They do, and I love to see the energy and the enthusiasm by both teams. I was a little chippy myself when I played, so I don't mind to see it. But at the same time, if you're 2 good teams, let's come out here and play basketball the right way. You should be able to compete without getting to a point where it turns into almost a physical altercation. Great job by Coach Whitehart taking Kanan Carlisle out, try to settle him down because he needs him actually to play a little bit better. Hopefully he can get a quick break and come back out and play better when he comes out.
Coach, you just said it. The bottom line is here. Carlisle just upset because really the other 2.
They're outplaying him.
Right. The talent is not much better, but they're just getting outplayed, out-hustled.
Right.
Yep. This is their night tonight, you think, Francis.
And especially in their gym. They got their fans up here lined up around the sideline. I'm sure St. Francis has been talking, with social media, these guys have probably been talking back a little bit here and there. So to come in, you're supposed to be one of the best teams in the state. You definitely don't want to lose this scrimmage game, even though it's only a scrimmage at home.
Right.
Catch Imani Bates and Yipsy Prep live on SUV TV this season, starting November the 20th. SUV TV, the flagship streaming partner for Yipsy Prep. Visit us at www.thesuvtv.com.
One of the things that, as college coaches, when we're out recruiting, if we're out here scouting this game and looking at these prospects as we do and analyze and assess them, we're sitting here saying, hey, St. Francis guards right now, they're playing.
Yeah.
Even though these kids are both probably the same level of caliber of players, but if I'm a college coach right now recruiting, I'm looking at the effort and the hustle that's put on by the guards of St. Francis. You can't, and today's kids, what they have a problem with, they want to play too smooth and too cool.
No question.
And you can't be Cadillac Joe out there. You got to
Cadillac
come with the grind, baby. You got to grind it out. And right now, it's going to come down to the effort.
We saw the official talking to both head coaches, Milton and St. Francis head coaches. What was that conversation, Coach Berry?
He's probably just talking to them and telling them, what their opinion of what happened was. Talk to your guys, Coach. Settle everybody down. We just want to have a good game here. It's a scrimmage. It's early in the year. We don't want to have to kick anyone out. But if we continue to see this type of behavior, these type of antics, we can't allow the game to get out of control. We'll be forced to take the control. So if you guys talk to them, settle them down, hopefully we can just play ball and have a good rest of the half.
So, Coach Johnson, after the officials have talked to the head coach, what are you saying to the team after that conversation with the official?
Hey, we have to play our game. You know, if I'm St. Francis, keep doing what you're doing. All right. If I'm Milton, hey, we got to step it up. Simple as that.
This is a socially distanced basketball game with students standing on the upper rails across the way.
Coach, we talked about the baseline out of bounds, so there's been 2 of these in the second half. Milton, earlier, Bruce Thornton turned one over that turned to a basket for St. Francis. That one right there was an almost turnover. They just end up throwing it long. Again, those are the things that will get better as the season goes on. It's just hard to work on everything when you only have 10 practices to work.
That's Thornton.
Yeah, well, that was the second time that St. Francis showed the 2-3 zone. And Milton, you see they took their time to make the adjustment, swing the ball around. They got a good shot on that ball reversal.
And if you're playing against zone early, it's probably going to be a bad zone. The rotations are going to be bad. So just take your time, move it side to side. You'll get a wide open shot.
And that's exactly what happened, Coach.
Oh, yes, sir. That's Robinson, Drew Robinson from downtown, and he sinks it in. Number 3 here for Milton. Bruce Thornton will bring down the ball, and they'll go to work on offense here. That's number 11, Brock Bidwell, Coach LeBarrett's favorite guy on the Milton's club. Works outside the arc and sets up the offense. He'll go inside the paint. No good.
No call by the ref. You got to finish that one at the rim.
A little bit out of control right there. A little out of control. You got to really take your time. And Jason tried to do too much there.
Bailed out by the call, but that's sometimes when you're the aggressor, you get those kind of calls right there.
Right.
Is there such thing as too aggressive at this point, coaches?
If you're one of the main couple guys, I'd rather you err on the side of being more aggressive than less aggressive. So I'll take that from one of my better players, especially when, you can get the other team in foul trouble. Just be careful. Don't turn it over. I'll take a couple bad shots here and there when you're one of my star guys who is one of my main scorers.
Walker
had a 5-second call for over-dribbling earlier. Hopefully he learned his lesson.
Thornton outside the arc, puts it up for 2, and it's good.
So I think that subliminally, the little bit of an altercation between Seth Hubbard and Kanan Carlisle has gotten Bruce Thornton going. Like that's the kind of stuff he feeds off of. He didn't even, I watched him immediately when it happened because he usually likes to get involved in that type of action. He just kind of shook his head, and I think that was a sign for him to kind of lock in, and he's going to take the challenge to guard Jason Holt as well. Now he's being a little bit more assertive on the offensive end.
Number 11, will he get it?
Oh, you got to finish that.
Sir.
And they'll take that look from Brock Bidwell in transition all day.
Brock Bidwell tonight, the Campbell University commit.
So Bruce Thornton just decided to go all out deny on Jason Holt. He just said, I'm just going to take him out of the game. You guys play 4-on-4.
Interesting matchup. Well, Coach, going back down to this Bruce Thornton pull-up, same thing we said coming out of halftime. You guys got to come off that dribble handoff into a rhythm shot. He did just that, knocked it down.
The tendency for a defender in the dribble handoff is to take away the drive, so they'll usually back off, so you'll end up with those pull-up jump shots. You just got to knock them down.
Number 4. That's Holt with the temp jumper.
Nice pull-up jumper for him right there. He'll make that shot. Bruce gambled and tried to get a steal. I think he needs to be a little bit more sound defensively on Holt and take him out of what he's trying to do, and I would try to make the other guys beat me.
It's 48-38. All St. Francis so far with 1 minute and a couple seconds in the third quarter.
Good pass. Good pass.
Number 4.
And that's all from
Fisher Finley.
So he does a great job defensively on Jason Holt. Gets the defensive rebound, pushes in transition, very patient, under control, probing, finds an open offensive player for a shot.
And here he is on the defensive end, stopping the drive.
Drew Robin from downtown, no good, denied there.
And Milton is best when they defend, rebound, and get the ball out and push. They haven't been as great in the half-court offense. They're better in transition. Probably a little bit of a rush right there. Good rebound on the offensive end.
Fisher Finley finishes it.
And Finley's been huge for them, man. I'm not sure if they end up – he might earn some more minutes. He's played really well tonight.
He's a blue collar for sure. No good there. Number 2. Thornton will bring it downtown for them. And
good drive.
Looks like he'll try to get it for 3.
He's frustrated. He wanted to see that go in. But Coach Whiteheart is excited. He's got a little juice going now. Now he's getting to the basket. He's talking a little junk. And this is the Bruce Thornton that we expected to see play.
Coach, I feel your energy up here.
I'm loving it, man.
I feel your energy for sure.
Well, it was about a 10 or 12-point game. Now it's down to 6 with a possibility to take it to 4.
Exactly. And all you want to do is chip away.
Right, and this is all this guy right here, Bruce Thornton.
This is when Kanan Carlisle came out the game. Bruce Thornton has kind of stepped up and taken the game over. Exactly.
Every aspect of the game, from the offense to the defense. He's played both ends, from rebounding to making the right pass, pull-up dribble, even defending. I mean,
the subtle thing he's done is he's taken Jason Holt out of the game.
That's what I'm saying, even defending on the wing, on the perimeter.
These are two really good, strong basketball programs who have been in competition and seen a lot of postseason play, playoffs and championships and tournaments. It's Milton and St. Francis.
Interesting timeout for Milton right here. So they go up for make the free throws with 16 seconds left. I'm assuming that you call that timeout if you want to set up some type of pressure. I don't think you call that timeout and go back into man-to-man. I mean, it's an important possession, but does he want to do something, maybe a run and jump, maybe go into a zone press right here?
But I think I'm not a coach. You guys are
my thoughts right now. They look a little bit tired.
Yeah, he just want to give him a break. Make sure it's an important position. Talk to him. Don't foul. Let's get a stop right here.
Because they've exerted their energy getting back in this. Look at this coach, Mari, 44-48.
That's right.
It was about a 12 or 13-point lead.
That's right.
And all based upon this young man right here, Bruce Thornton, who's brought him back into the game solely, making the right decisions, getting his teammates involved. So just give him a little breather right here.
Well, they definitely didn't go into a press, so it looks like it's man-to-man. So I guess that's exactly what you said. He just want to settle him down and talk to him.
Bruce Thornton is the guy we're ranting and raving about, the 6'3" guard, junior for Milton. And he's done really well tonight.
That's good defense. Possession right. Great defense right there.
Forced a bad shot.
They shot it too early, but then Milton slowed it up. They had a chance to push in transition and maybe get an easier shot than that. That's not knowing time to score. Brock Bidwell should have got that rebound and pushed the ball immediately in transition. They had about 8 seconds.
I'm going to tell you this, Coach. And this guys right here, that wasn't about time to score. That was about defense.
Yeah,
my man was all up in his butt.
Oh, no question. No question.
And he couldn't get – he tried to get off the shot, but he couldn't. That's Bruce Thornton right here guarding Hassan Holt. Hassan forced him into a bad shot with plenty of time on the clock.
It's 48-44. Right now it is St. Francis. We'll start in the fourth quarter, but we're going to tell you about Playing for a Change. Playing for a Change will feature some of Georgia's best teams playing for a cause bigger than the game. Join the host, Pace Academy, Grayson, Willer, Carroll, Pebblebrook, Green Forest, South Cobb, and North Gwinnett for showcase games and tournament play on December the 19th to 22nd of December on DSUVTV.com.
Man, it's been a well-played game. Milton really cut into this lead right here. Bruce Thornton is all over the stat sheet for the Milton side. A guy we haven't talked about a lot on the other side is Jordan Brown. He's got a couple steals, got about 5 or 6 rebounds. He's got some assists. I mean, he's played really well as well. And they start out by letting him run the point, probably trying to run a set right here and get an easy basket. Oh, quick drive for Jordan Brown.
Browns goes
Mr.
in.
Chippy, that's a big miss right there. Milton has a chance to cut it to 2.
Fitzgerald forces it down the middle.
And you know what? We haven't talked about Fitzgerald either. He's been a key part off of their bench. He's come in and played really aggressive. You kind of don't know what position he is. He's like a combo forward. He rebounds, takes the ball to the basket well. He's guarded some of their bigger guys. He's done a good job on Jordan Brown on the defensive end too.
48-46. St. Francis. That's Holt from downtown, and it's good.
That's what happened right there was we had a switch. Fisher Finley switched off onto Jason Holt on the ball screen action. Bruce Thornton ended up guarding the big, and Jason Holt took advantage of it. You can't give him that much space.
Young tries to answer back. I'm sorry. Bidwell tries to answer back.
Bad foul by Fisher Finley right there. Smart, high IQ play by Jordan Brown. You see that a lot in the NBA. Those guys kind of slow down when they get in front of a defender running up the court. Let them run into them, flop a little bit, get a foul. Easy way to get a dead ball and to get into the bonus earlier.
Number 23 for Simmons, St. Francis. Simmons will bring it out for us. Crosses the midcourt. Holt. Back to Simmons.
Looks like they're running a little bit of that chin action.
Herbert. To Robbins. Holt.
See how Bruce Thornton gets up into Jasano. He's not going to let him get that wide open 3 off. Good pass.
Number 22 finishes off. That's Kai Simmons.
Great pass by Keith Robbins, too. Drive with a left-handed feed on a dive off the ball screen action.
So, coaches, with that experience you guys have, our big men are using their size to their advantage tonight, or what are the big men doing?
They're just playing within themselves. The bigs aren't known for scoring on either team, so they're just setting screens, diving hard to the rim. The guards have made some nice passes to those guys diving. You see Fisher Finley making a great hustle play right there. They're just making a lot of effort plays and bringing a lot of energy to the game.
Fisher Finley recovers the turnover, passes it to number 3. That's Corey Gibbs, and tries to finish it off. The layup, Finley.
Nice drive by Corey Gibbs. Would have liked to see him finish that. Fisher Finley was all over the rim. I'm interested to see how long Coach Whitehart leaves Kanan Carlisle out the game. I know he's trying to teach him a lesson and maybe the team a lesson at the same time. And it's also a scrimmage game. But it's got to be hard walking down there and looking and seeing one of your best players and not putting him back in the game. And as soon as I called it, coaches, we're creatures of habit. We want to win. we love teaching lessons, but at the same time, we want to win games too.
Carlisle would check back in the game. The 6'3" sophomore for Milton comes off the bench. It's 53-46, 5 minutes and 40 seconds, and it's countdown so far.
What St. Francis has to be careful of here is they're still taking a lot of bad shots.
They are.
Forced shots, contested shots. They just got to continue to work, be aggressive, attack.
Nice shot fake and extra pass.
Outside the arc, Carlisle.
That's that man Fitzgerald.
Brock
was due for one.
To Brock Bidwell.
Just a couple. He's due for one right there. They needed that. That was huge for him.
The 5'10" senior shows up and shows out again in the fourth quarter.
But another one of those glue guys making a play, Seth Fitzgerald with a big-time rebound and kick out.
22. Simmons contests it.
Milton really needs an easy basket right here. Bruce takes the 3. Got a good look.
He's here.
Big shot.
One-point game.
Yes. He's not tired yet. It's 53-52. 4 minutes and 49 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. It's all Milton for right now. The energy.
I love basketball. What a game of runs. So early in the second half, Milton, they were arguing with each other, a little disjointed. St. Francis was high-fiving big chest, and now as the momentum has swung, St. Francis is arguing as they're walking off the court. Bruce Thornton is yelling at the fans in the stands. I mean, it's just a game of runs. What a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah. It is. Mara, you asked earlier about the post guys. What's going to be the difference in the game. Both of these guys are both running dribble weave, handoff, pick and roll. I tell you, if you can get these post guys to convert on that pick and roll off that dribble weave,
just simple catch and finishes. That's all they got to do.
It. But nobody's truly been able to convert. Yeah. So let's see if both teams try to look more at that, as opposed to, in particular, St. Francis trying to force outside perimeter shots and bad shots, because all their shots are being contested by Milton's defense.
Well, guys, I know you're not able to see Coach Brandon Johnson, but he's a big guy himself, and looks like he still have maybe a quarter in him.
No, I'm not a big guy, man. I'm only 6'4".
6'4", you're definitely a big guy to me.
Do you have a quarter left in you? That's what he's trying to find out. You got any games left in you?
I got a quarter in my pocket.
It's 53-52 right now.
Anybody that knows me still knows I still think I can play with anybody. It might be unrealistic, but I still believe it. I can tell you right now. Big time shot by Jordan Brown. They needed that too.
Yes, indeed.
23, Jordan Brown. He is a 6-foot junior. And number 11, Brock Bidwell. Don't count the Cowboy commit out.
Jordan Brown didn't know the scout report. You cannot leave Brock Bidwell open. I'm telling you right now. He's up to 5 threes right now.
You called it, Coach.
Yes.
Obviously, you've seen these kids play before.
I've seen them play a lot, man.
You said it, Coach, from the beginning.
Great defense.
Holt with his own rebound outside the right wing there. Throws it down to number 22.
Kai Simmons got to make that.
Simmons
good play.
Right. Puts it up with
very patient, poised, under control. Take your time. There's not any shot blockers in there.
Right.
Catch it, take your time, and make a shot.
And there you go. The post making a difference. It was an excellent pass.
Bruce Thornton.
Hey, that's old school right there.
Yes, it is.
Drove hard left, shot fake up and under, and then he went to the smooth finger roll. That's a big time play by Bruce Thornton.
57, number 23. That's Brown's answer back again.
Kids are playing.
Oh man,
they're going back and forth, people.
This has like a Sweet 16, Elite 8 feel. This does not feel like a scrimmage.
It feels great.
It doesn't feel like a scrimmage game at all.
Not at all.
First half was pretty good. What was it? Second half they come back. We got a back and forth. Now it's coming down to the wire here.
What you can tell is that this game means something to these
guys.
Yes, sir. They are not taking this for granted at all.
Brown.
I'm not sure what happened. It must have been a lane violation on the baseline out of bounds.
Brown sets up the offense for St. Francis and
been
drives it
aggressive
down.
coming out of that timeout. Great look-ahead pass by Bruce Thorne.
Travel.
Up to Campbell, and we have a
I think
travel.
it was a good call, too. Great look-ahead pass.
But it was the right
by Bruce
pass.
Thorne. Yes, it was.
Mean, that was an excellent pass. The receiver just traveled with it.
Yes.
Probably should have just took one dribble and went and finished the play.
That was an excellent pass. I mean, he couldn't have laid it out any perfect than that.
We have the student section standing to our right on the upper deck. It's 60-57, fourth quarter. 30 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the game. So far, it's been
Seth Hubbard has been quiet in the second half. They need him to start getting back to them. There you go.
And
good aggressive drive by Seth Hubbard. He was scoring a lot early in the game and also early in the second half when they kind of made their run, and they need his scoring punch right now.
Coach, I'm going to say this as well. Jason has been pretty he hasn't been pretty loud as well. But
it's hard when you got Bruce Thorne.
Right. He's only made one shot when they had that switch off the
when Bruce Thorne got switched off. Exactly.
So, guys, we've been going back and forth so far. As number 12, Herbert, will stand at the line for his free throw. And these guys have been going back and forth, guys. But what are you doing on defense to kind of slow it down? It's 57-60, close in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes and 21 seconds to go. What are you doing on defense for each team?
Well, I'll say for Milton, they've been doing the same thing the whole game. And when it comes down to it, I think the defensive stop is going to be the telltale of the game.
To me, it's, your best players got to make plays, so your best defensive players got to be on those best offensive players. And as long as Bruce Thorne is matched up with Jason Holt, that means Seth Hubbard is going to have to make those plays because he's going to be taking them completely out of the game. For St. Francis, they have to keep Bruce Thorne out the paint. He's been getting in the paint and causing havoc. They're going to have to do a little bit better job containing him and building a wall and keeping him out the paint and live with those guys shooting jump shots.
Seth Hubbard was successful for both of them.
Man.
And that's Thornton as he knocks it down. And
great footwork, great shot fake. Another shot fake gets to the rim, soft touch floater, just slightly inside the free throw line, a very difficult shot.
So two there.
Holt can't buy out. He can't sell out on those shot fakes, man.
Jalen Lee to number 12, Herbert.
That's another one of those fouls when you do a good defensive job. Know when you've done a good job, live with them making a tough shot. Don't foul him right there. He was fading away on the baseline side. No reason to foul right there.
It's Hubbard back at the line again. Join a great lineup of NBA analysts Rashad Phillips, Daryl LeBerry, and more on SUV TV's NBA Draft Day show on November the 18th, 2020. Visit thesuvtv.com for more information. It's 64-59.
Two
St.
big free
Francis.
throws by Seth Hubbard right there. They needed those. Wow, Kanan Carline has just been out of it, man. It's about the third time he's drove in there and just turned the ball over. He didn't even have anywhere to go.
Out to Lee.
This is when Milton's at their best. When Bruce Thorne gets the ball and can ignite the break, he usually makes a good decision with the ball, and they usually end up with a good shot.
Fitzgerald.
He's got to make that.
Back to Carlisle.
There you
and
go.
yes,
he needed
sir.
that bucket.
It was huge. He needed it, and Milton needed it.
Right.
But again, who started the whole thing? Bruce Thorne. When he gets the rebound, he can ignite the break, and he probes. He's under control. He's poised. He makes good decisions with the ball, and he usually leads to positive things on the offensive end for Milton.
Carlisle.
Well, you said it, Coach. He's just poised. He's poised, and he allows the game to unfold, and he makes it happen. It's about making the right decision.
No question.
With the
2-point game.
Yes, sir. Carlisle with a three-point play. 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Number 12, that's Herbert.
But this is what I said earlier.
It's a bad shot by Hubbard.
St. Francis, they're taking bad shots. And why is that?
There.
That is because of Milton's defense. They've taken 3 consecutive shots from the perimeter that have been bad shots. No penetration because they can't. It's just one catch, pull up. Defense is making a difference right here.
Early in the season, the game is all about who can score the most points in transition, because transition defense is not going to be good early in the season. So defend, rebound, push the ball in transition, get the easiest shot available. That's the team that's going to win. Neither team has worked on their half-court offense or their set offenses, so they're not going to execute right now. So whoever gets the easiest baskets is going to win the game.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of primary breaks at all, for that matter, even secondary breaks where they're converting. So I'm not trying to harp on Milton, but the defense that they're doing right now is dictating the tempo of the game. Yes, they're down by 2 points, but I'm telling you right now, on the other end, St. Francis is not taking good shot selections. They're not off of the defense.
And that's what allowed Milton to come back, because they had a 10 or 12-point lead early in the third quarter. We didn't know if St. Francis was going to separate and break away. But that defensive pressure that you talked about is kind of what's kept Milton in the game.
It has.
And then Bruce Thornton has found a way to make shots in the second half.
Now let's see if St. Francis can execute here and get a good play, get a score here.
St. Francis back from the timeout.
I would go to Jason Holt because Bruce Thornton's not guarding him right now.
Brown sets up shop.
Looks like with no shot clock, St. Francis is going to hold the ball out.
Outside the arc.
Get a 5-second call here.
To Holt.
Stay within him.
Hands on him. That's a foul. 5 seconds. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Because that could have been a foul as well.
I'm saying here on the side, let's get a 5-second. You got to be out there and you got to be aggressive.
That's right.
It's early in the season for the referees, so I'm not sure.
Was it a 5? I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was a 5.
Early in the season for the referees.
Yeah, they're getting. It's a scrimmage game for them too.
Bruce Thornton sets up the offense for Milton.
Oh, he had him on the slip. Nice.
Brings it in downtown.
This young man is making all the right moves, making all the right decisions, and this is the key that he's really truly doing. He knows how to initiate contact.
The crazy thing is Bruce Thornton did not score the ball in the first half. He might have had 2 points. He has completely dominated the game offensively in the second half, and he's been good on both ends of the court, both halves.
Out to Herbert, and it's recovered.
Well, here you go. We got a 64-tie ball game right here with the ball in Bruce Thornton's hands.
He wants to go high ball screen because they've been killing him in this. Will they switch it? How are they going to decide to guard it? The slip has been there a couple times. Bruce hasn't taken advantage of it. He's decided to keep it because he's been the guy who's making the right decisions, the right plays.
And we're inside the 1 minute mark. It's tied up 64. Bidwell goes
they got
up
lucky
2.
right there.
No good there. Number 4, Holt, the Alabama commit, will bring it out. And Herbert
travel
with the travel
call.
That's
a bad. We talked about it earlier. He gets too aggressive. You got to know time and score. You want to get a good shot right there. There's no reason to drive and try to make some kind of Euro step jump stop play right there. There's no reason to do that. Now, if you're Milton with no shot clock, do you take the last shot or do you take the first available?
And he was no good for 2 as Bruce Thornton will bring it out across the center court, guarded by Holt, the Alabama commit. It's tied up. 30-second countdown.
I think Bruce is going to take the first available.
Thornton.
Oh, he had him.
To 23
Brock
count.
Bidwell, you got to take that. You're a shooter. You can't
Thornton
pass that.
to Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald's not scared.
To Fitzgerald.
Yeah, Fitzgerald's been making plays. Oh,
no good.
Now hold it for the last shot. Oh,
back out to Thornton.
You got to know time and score. You got to know time and score. And then they fouled?
No, timeout, I believe. Is it a timeout or did he foul? He fouled.
See, you got to – I love Bruce Thornton. He's played a great game, but you got to know time and score. You get the offensive rebound, they kick it to you with 14 seconds left. There's no reason to take that shot. You make sure you take the last shot. Fortunately for them, they're not in a bonus situation, so they're taking the ball out length of the court with 10 seconds left. Now you got to make a decision. Do you go some kind of three-quarter court trap or some kind of full-quarter court trap to slow the pace down, or are you just going to go regular man-to-man and let them bring the ball up the court?
Well, Coach, I hear what you're saying there as well, but at the same time, that was a rhythm shot. That ball moved from one side to the other.
It's 14 seconds left,
No, Coach, you can get it. Hey, that is a rhythm shot. He was in his flow. There was nobody near him. You got to take that shot.
If he's coming to the game, they'll remember that shot.
But that's my player who I want to take that shot. Am I right or wrow?
He's a guy.
Right.
Who gets a little bit extra
and he
reach.
was in the rhythm. He was in the rhythm in the flow. He just didn't make the shot. It went in and out.
Hopefully for them it goes to overtime, because if they end up losing this game, that shot will be one that we'll remember and talk about.
But we're looking at 10 seconds, and, it's tied up now. I mean, what's the game plan?
If you're St. Francis, you want to make sure you get the last shot. I'm pretty sure they'll go high ball screen with Jason Holt, trying to force some kind of switch because you don't want Bruce Thornton guarding them. Seth Hubbard has been another guy who's been able to get to the rim. But you want to. The first thing we do is make sure you get the last shot. Do not turn the ball over. Don't shoot the ball too early.
Well, we got the ball taken out back here, basically.
Yeah, but Milton, they haven't shown any kind of pressure. I'm pretty sure they're going to kind of sit back and play the man. They've been doing that the whole game.
You don't have to have full pressure. You can have token pressure.
That's what I would do. I would do token to take some time off the clock.
Right. You need to do that. So let's see if they extend it just a little bit. Because to be honest with you, I haven't seen great ball handling out here where St. Francis is just beating people off the dribble.
And fans are sitting on the edge of their seats, and students are standing to their feet.
Holt just gave it up. He didn't realize he had to switch on him.
I wanted the ball in Holt if I'm Milton.
23 Brown aggressively brings it down.
Going to overtime.
Brock Bidwell tries to do it.
He almost made it, too.
Almost made it.
That was a good no call down here by the official.
Yeah, let the guys on the court finish the game out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tied, 64-64. That's the end of the fourth quarter. We're going into overtime for the first game, a.k.a. scrimmage of the season for both teams. It's St. Francis and Milton. Kind of refresh our fans, our viewers, coaches, of the overtime rules for basketball.
I don't know what they're going to do because it's a scrimmage. It's usually 3 minutes on the clock. But also Georgia's been changing a bunch of rules, so I have absolutely no idea what's about to happen right now. It looks like they're talking to two of the captains. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on. I've never seen this happen in between the end of regulation and overtime where they're talking to two captains on the team. I've never seen this before.
Yeah, you have to
they did a coin toss.
Yeah. Looks like they're doing a coin toss.
Okay,
Sure.
all right. So that's the new rule for Georgia.
Because there's no jump ball.
Right,
That's why.
right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's right. And Coach said
they got 4 minutes on the clock, jump ball. No jump ball. Coin toss for who takes the ball out of the half. Wow.
And so, Coach LeBarrett, you were saying that no jump ball for Georgia. Not sure why. It could be because of COVID. We don't know. So that's kind of rules that out. That's why we have a coin flip there at the center of the court to see who gets the ball.
Very interesting, man. We got to get used to the new rules. I don't think they're doing this all across the country. I know they won't do this in college, but, hey, if they feel like it's good so far, so far so good. We'll see what happens.
Welcome to overtime on the campus of Milton High School. 64-64. There's 4 minutes on the clock for this fifth quarter showdown. It's Milton and St. Francis. Thornton will bring out the ball at the top of the key. Passes it to Carlisle.
What do they call, foul?
And we have a foul on the play.
That was an interesting matchup or lineup right there set for Milton. They went into a staggered ball handoff for Carlisle going to his left.
He has not scored the ball as well as he's capable of, and I'm attributed it to early game jitters, but
Carlisle
good.
To the big man.
Good.
That's number 23, Campbell, the 6'6" junior.
And you talked about what big guys are going to be able to convert around the rim. That's how you convert around the rim.
I don't think it was necessarily a good zone play, man. I just think the defense just broke down.
George Brown has made some tough shots, man.
With the pull-up. And it goes in there. 66 tied up. It's a tight ball game. 3 minutes and 11 seconds in the fifth quarter. Overtime.
Milton had got to a point where they kind of went exclusively high ball screen with Bruce Thornton. Now they're trying to do a little bit different things. Another time, Kanan Carlisle has to take that shot when he gets to the paint.
You're right, Coach.
He's been a little too unselfish.
Campbell, the big man, number 23, down in the paint for Milton.
Good defense
but that
by
defense
Carlisle.
is there.
And they'll live with this matchup with Bruce Thornton. That's a tough shot. They'll live with that. Bruce Thornton has done a terrific job.
Again,
on
contested bad shots. They can't do anything.
Bidwell with the recover of the rebound there. Thornton will bring it out for Milton. Passes it to Bidwell on the left wing. Fitzgerald.
They're kind of running a little bit of that dribble drive motion.
Carlisle from downtown. No good. Recovered by Bidwell. Back out to Carlisle for two.
There he goes.
Yes, sir.
And they need him to do a little bit more of that. He's got to drive and slash and get to the rim and make some plays.
His last two baskets have been attacking the rim.
That's where he's best.
Holt.
And he's done a great job on the defensive end, too.
The whole team has, Coach. You're exactly right.
Browns outside the arc.
We just got the stat that Bruce Thornton has 10 assists tonight, man. So he's been all over. He's impacted the game scoring. He took over in the third quarter and the fourth quarter. He's got 10 assists.
Good pass.
That should have been 11 assists.
Yeah.
He's got some blocks. He's got some
through.
He's done a great job, man. He's been huge tonight. He's been the best player on the court.
Did you see that pass right there?
Beautiful. And he's got to catch and finish that.
And here you go, Coach. Maury, back to the post guys.
Yeah,
that's right.
Converted.
If they can catch, the big guys. Conceal, yes.
I love the big guys.
Wow, 10 assists there.
Yeah. So the 10 assists tells me that, hey, he is all over the court and he's a selfless player.
I'm not sure how many rebounds he has, but he's rebounding his ball.
I think he's got 7 or 8 rebounds. Right. He might close to a triple-double tonight.
68-66, your Milton Eagles.
This is a huge possession right here. And with no shot clock, I'm a basketball purist. I'd rather you just play it out.
Carlisle!
That's big time.
Yes,
His best finishes have been with the left hand tonight. When they needed him to make plays, he's made plays.
With the chance of a three-point play, Carlisle goes back to the line.
That was huge, making a 2-possession game with 1:20.
That was nothing but they spread out the court and just let him go one-on-one.
My guy's better than your guy.
And he just one-on-one, he rose above everybody and converted.
He's a sophomore, guys. Does that surprise you that he's so young and playing like this?
He's one of the top-rated sophomores in the country. He's a highly rated kid. Everybody knows he's supposed to be good. So he played a lot of minutes as a freshman, so we're not surprised by this at all.
And again, that's going to his weak, going to his left.
Yeah.
That does it there. It's 71-66. Your Milton Eagles with 1 minute and 21 seconds. Catch Imani Bates and Yipsy Prep live on SUV TV this season, starting November 20. SUV TV, the flagship streaming partner for Yipsy Prep. Visit the SUV TV. You heard me, the flagship.
Daryl, going back to what you were saying earlier, again, basketball is, it's a flow game. It's a flow game.
Yeah.
And earlier in the game, you had the guards of St. Francis really being aggressive and assertive and taking it to the guards of Milton.
Yeah.
We just saw it change. From the third quarter on, we saw Bruce Thornton take over the game by himself. Now you've got Carlisle coming back in the game. Which guards are playing better now down the stretch? It's the Milton guards.
I know it sounds simple, but basketball, they say it all the time. It's not about the X's and O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes.
Tell me about it.
And Bruce Thornton and Kanan Carlisle have been the best players at the latter stretch of this game, which has been the most important stretch. And we'll see if Seth Hubbard and Jason Holt can answer back. But Bruce Thornton he's all over Jason Holt. He can't even get a clean look.
Bruce Thornton, the Alabama commit, number 23 with the ball. That's Jordan Brown.
He's the guy who's been able to get loose and take advantage and make some plays on offense. It's been Jordan Brown. But Jason Holt, they need a big three or they need an and one. He's got to do something to give them a little bit of a boost.
Holt.
Good rebound by Bidwell.
Again, Holt is forcing it. He's forcing it. You got good defense. He had a good slash there for a second, but it was not a good rhythm shot.
Hey. That sounds great when you're up here. When you got Bruce Thornton covering you all over the court.
What you've seen is Bruce Thornton shut him down for the most
part.
Shut
him down.
Mm-hmm. Coach LeBerry and Coach Johnson keeping it real with the analyst spots here.
Brock Bidwell, we just got another stat, a huge stat. Brock Bidwell with 9 rebounds tonight. So a guy you wouldn't expect a double-double out of, maybe assist and points. It definitely has double-digit points because he's made at least 4 or 5 threes. He's a great free throw shooter, and shows you his toughness and a little bit of athleticism that we talked about that people don't quite see in him all the time. To get 9 rebounds in a high-level game like this is pretty impressive.
Brock Bidwell at the line. The Campbell commit is playing.
He's not missing free throws. I can tell you that right. We could have just put those up before that.
Last year for the Milton Eagles, number 24.
That's what he has to get better at. Keith Roberts shouldn't take that shot. You got to know your game. You're a driver and a slasher.
With an attempt downtown,
good decision, Kanan Carlisle.
Will take it back out and reset the offense.
See, I would give it to Brock Bidwell right there. You got to give it to your best free throw shooter. Even though Kanan Carlisle is probably a good free throw shooter himself, but when you got like a 90% free throw shooter, you got to find him in those situations.
You do.
And Carlisle will make his trip back to the line. 73-66, you see it there.
But what have we saw, fellas? We saw nothing but good defense from Milton. Bad shot selection coming down on St. Francis. Milton is taking their time, moved the ball around, attacked, got in, got to the free throw line. This is going to be a good
It's a good barometer for both teams.
Yes, indeed.
And he's good. We're inside the 45-second to go in the game.
That's a nice finish. And he's played a good game, to be honest with you. He's ended up, if you look at the totality of the game, he might have been their best player consistently throughout the whole game, Jordan Brown. He's got some assists. He's rebounded the ball. He's been able to put the ball on the floor and create offense for himself. Got to the rim and finished, made some nice mid-range shots. He's played really well.
I think the thing that he really has done, he's played within himself.
He's played within himself.
Right,
I agree.
Everybody else is still trying to get a feel for themselves and trying to press themselves. But this young man right here has played within himself and within the game.
So basically, Coach Johnson, you're saying he has played his game. That's his game.
That's his game, and at the same time, he's playing within the game. You know, you can have a game personally, but you got to also alter your game for what's being played at the pace of the game.
Good. Another assist, 11 assists.
Number 23,
Bruce
Campbell.
Thornton. You can't trap Bruce Thornton, but if you're going to trap him, you got to make him get the ball out of his hands quick. You can't let him get ahead of steam. Then look how he comes back and contests that, too.
Outside the three.
It's unbelievable. He's everywhere.
Folks, we've just seen a great display
of winning basketball.
Right, but at the same time, I mean, great display by this young man right now with the ball.
Well, that does it. That's the final there. The cherries on the top. It's 77. Milton versus St. Francis 68. And that does it. Guys, what do you take away from both teams going into a season and considering COVID-19 and all that stuff?
Real quick before we get into that, I've been really interested to see what happens at the end of games. Do kids high five, or do they fist bump, or do they not acknowledge each other in the games with COVID going on? And it looks like both teams have decided not to acknowledge each other, which I'm pretty sure is going to happen a lot this season. It's not a thing of disrespect.
Right.
It's just a thing of the situation and scenario that we're in.
That's right.
Guys want to talk to each other. But
that's right.
Back to the game, a great game. St. Francis will be disappointed, but it's your first game on the road against a team in a much higher classification with some really good guards. I think they play really well, and in their division, they'll be fine. Milton probably would like to have played a little bit better, to be honest. But they're big-time players, and they're big-name guys made plays when they needed to down the stretch.
Yeah, I think it was a great game by both teams. Again, like you said, St. Francis is in a lower classification as far as in the private school level, but they came out and played well first half. Now you got to take this back to the drawing board and say, hey, we got to put two halves together. And then the main thing I would say with St. Francis, from an offensive standpoint, bad shot selection. So when they go in and look at film, coach has to show them, and they have to see for themselves, hey, we have to really move the ball around, take better shots, attack the basket. When we get the ball inside, we can get those outside shots that we need, not contested shots. If I'm Milton, on the other hand, I'm saying, you know what, hey, we played a decent first half. Second half, we came out a little slow. Personnel-wise, we weren't there. But, hey, we had a spark that picked us up. Our defense kept us in the game, and we had balanced contribution across the board. So I think this is a great barometer for both teams to really have a true assessment and evaluation of where they are and what they need to work on, and the coaches can't ask for anything better.
I agree.
Well, it's been a really good game for us. It's Coach LeBerry, Darryl, his first name, and Coach Brandon Johnson, not Magic Johnson, but Coach Brandon Johnson. And both of these great men bring an array of college coaching experience. Guys, I've enjoyed it tonight.
Me too, man. I had a great time.
It's a final. Milton 77, St. Francis 68. We're saying so long until next time. This is brought to you by the flagship of streaming. That's SUV TV. Visit us at www.thesuvtv.com. Good night.